Welcome to What's More or Less. My name is Jason. Hey, I just wanted to share a quick quote with you today from this book. One of the first ones that made me start feeling real clarity. I had already been listening to Ezra Taft Benson talks off and on as a kid while going to college. He said things that suddenly made sense to me. And I always had this plan to eventually start studying what he said, and then got this in like 2019 or 2020. Great book. Not 100% with our time, but the concepts are just like studying the Declaration of Independence. If you study those concepts, those grievances, they will help you to better understand things about our time. This book too. Okay, so this is written during the Vietnam era. Okay, and I don't remember it. My dad was a cop during the Vietnam era. They were about to draft him, and then realized that he was a freshly recruited cop who did some of the most important law enforcement work in the state of Arizona ever, if you ask me. So yeah, my mom was pregnant with me at the time too. So yeah, I don't remember this era, but this is published in 1969. Here we go. General Curtis C. LeMay, former Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, has laid down 4 basic principles of warfare that we should all understand and be prepared to apply. The first is, as I have just mentioned, that war is serious and dangerous business and does not lessen its seriousness. It does not lessen its seriousness, especially to those who are on the front line, by calling it a police action or a limited war. Any war, should have objectives that are both clear and worthy of the sacrifice of human lives. So first that. Second, even small wars are cruel and must be fought in such a way as to win them as quickly as possible. Under no circumstances do so-called political considerations justify prolonging the slaughter when it is possible to have victory. General LeMay's third precept, in his own words, is never to point a gun at someone unless you are prepared to shoot him dead. A bluff in warfare should never be attempted unless one fully intends to back it up if need be. And then the fourth doctrine of warfare is probably the most important of them all. We should never accept a battle in a small war unless we are fully prepared for it to develop into a large war. As LeMay phrased it, the popular philosophy that we can be cautious and timid, by cautious and timid military tactics keep the war from escalating into a larger conflict, is the ultimate in military blindness. The only way to win a war is to escalate it in one way or another above what the enemy can take. If we feel that we can't win without unacceptable risk, we have no business fighting in the first place. Thus, whenever we commit our young men to mortal combat, we should be equally prepared to commit our leaders, our cities, our families, and civilians, our own or the enemy's. Modern war is that serious, and we should not forget it. Very interesting, it says our own or our enemies. President Trump is trying to be a little bit more delicate, but this is President Benson basically endorsing this philosophy here. If the cause is just, right? If you're dealing with someone say, for example, as what a lot of people call the #1 state sponsor of terrorism, or at least the international community acknowledges a serious state sponsor of terrorism, which, for all intents and purposes, if you're sponsoring it, you're doing it. That's just the truth, right? When Steven Spielberg creates a movie, right? Even though he wasn't one of the actors, maybe, right? For all intents and purposes, he was the one who made it all happen, right? So this is Iran is guilty, but I did look up some information on this guy. He was a little bit more gung-ho. Now, President Trump, though, is threatening to be more gung-ho if Iran doesn't start coming to the table, right? This is so. First off, had they not killed tens of thousands of their own people, the judgment against them might not be as just, but they did. That's the truth of it. And I can't help but my mind keeps going to that Alma and Amulek story, right? Okay, so the last little bit, by the way, let's see. There can be no substitute for victory. Total victory means peace, okay? So apparently during the Vietnam era, one of the things that drove President Benson crazy was our entangling alliances, particularly the UN. Created all these restrictions on warfare and what was allowed to be done, and it made it almost impossible for us to just win and finish the job, right? J. Reuben Clark and Ezra Taft Benson and several others have pointed out that these entangling alliances of the UN and NATO are a violation of national sovereignty. And anyhow, I love this about President Trump. Um, I'm not Mr. Rah Rah Trump. If you're trying to hold him to my religion standards, I can look up as Dallin H. Oaks quotes that I was just reading last night. That should never be. There's no religious test allowed in the Constitution. Okay. So if you're like Mr. Mitt Romney is better than Donald Trump because he's a member of the church, no religious test, and that's considered part of our divinely inspired Constitution. Okay. I think Trump's been off at times. Personally, I think that Jefferson and Madison had to keep Washington in check, right? At times. So even Washington, our greatest president, though a lot of people would say, I think it's actually Jefferson. But besides the point. Excuse me. Anyhow. Excuse me. All right, got to go do my chores. My goats are mad that they're hearing my voice and I'm not feeding them first. I read this one last night. This is a great book. When you look at it, I've been all the way through it at this point, but mostly the way I've treated this book throughout the years has been, let me see what he would have said when this kind of topic comes up in the news or whatever. Did he have any comments on education? Did he have any comments on race riots and things like that? Did he have any? Yes. And citing the grievances in the Declaration of Independence, we're at the 250th anniversary of that. They're still relevant. You have to kind of decode them a little bit and then apply them to modern issues, okay? But they're still relevant. And President Trump has basically told the UN and NATO, we don't answer to you, right? And I think J. Reuben Clark and Ezra Taft Benson would have been very happy to see this. This is appropriate. We answer to the United States Constitution, and you cannot sign away the sovereignty via a treaty. Treaties would never have that application. So in history, and that's it. So yeah, talk to you guys later. Have a great day.